In the previous video, we created our administration page. In today's video, we are going to create our details page. The main purpose of this page is not to create another view of our traffic lights. Instead, it is to introduce one of the most useful features in WinCC Explorer, faceplates. If you've never used faceplates before, don't worry. By the end of this lesson, you'll understand what they are, why they're useful, and how to create reusable ones for your own projects. Let's begin by looking at what this page will display. As you can see, this page is divided into 3 sections. The first section represents the green light status, the second represents the yellow light, and the third represents the red light. Each section shows the status of all 4 traffic lights in our intersection. For example, when traffic is moving in the north-south direction, the northern and southern traffic lights have their green lights on, while the eastern and western traffic lights have their red lights on to stop traffic. During the changeover period, all 4 yellow lights turn on, to warn drivers that the signals are about to change. So, just like our home page, this page allows us to monitor the sequence of the traffic lights. The difference is that here we are displaying the information using reusable faceplates instead of creating every object individually. At the bottom of the page, we also have our timer settings. These are exactly the same timer objects we created on the home page, so instead of creating them again, simply copy and paste them onto this page. Now let's create the details page. Open Graphics Designer, right-click on the empty space inside the project tree and select New Picture. Rename the picture to Details. Then double-click it to open it in Graphics Designer. Just like our previous pages, the first thing we need to check is the screen size. Open the page properties, navigate to Geometry, and make sure the width and height match the dimensions of your picture window. This ensures the page fits perfectly inside our main screen without being stretched or clipped. Next, create the page header. Add a static text object. Resize it. Change the text to Details page. Align the text to the center. Increase the font size. And choose a suitable background color. Remember to disable the global color scheme if you want to use your own colors. Finally, copy the timer section from the home page and paste it at the bottom of this page. Now comes the interesting part, creating our first faceplate. Before we create one, let's first understand what a faceplate actually is. Think of a faceplate as a template. Instead of creating the same group of objects over and over again, you design it once, save it as a faceplate, and then reuse it wherever you need it. In our case, the green, yellow, and red sections all have exactly the same layout. The only things that change are the title, the colors, and the on-off status indicators. Rather than designing these 3 sections separately, we'll design only one faceplate and reuse it 3 times. This not only saves time, but it also makes future changes much easier. If you ever need to modify the design, you only update the faceplate once, and every instance automatically reflects the change. Let's create it. Go to File and select New Faceplate Type. The first thing we'll do is set its size. Open Geometry and change the width to 250 and the height to 275. Now we can begin designing the contents of the faceplate. Start by creating the header. Insert a static text object. Type green light. Center the text. Increase the font size. Disable the global color scheme and change the background color to green. Next, create the labels for each traffic light. Add another static text object. Type northern side. Remove both the border and background by setting their transparency to 100%. Then copy and paste it for southern side, eastern side, and western side. Using copy and paste ensures every label has the same appearance and spacing. Now we need the on and off status indicators. The easiest way is to copy the header we already created, resize it into a smaller rectangle, change the text to off, and adjust the background color to red. Once you're happy with one indicator, copy and paste it for the remaining traffic lights. Then align them neatly using the alignment tools. Our faceplate layout is now complete. Before we can reuse it, we need to save it. Right-click the faceplate name and choose Save As. I'll name mine TL, which stands for traffic light. Now we need to configure the faceplate. This is the part that usually confuses beginners, so let's understand what we're actually doing. Right now, every piece of text and every color inside our faceplate is fixed. If we create another copy, it will still say green light, and every status indicator will still have the same colors and text. But we don't want that. We want every copy of the faceplate to be customizable. For example, one copy should display green light, another should display yellow light, and another should display red light. The same applies to the on-off indicators. To make this possible, we need to expose certain properties so they can be changed for each individual faceplate instance. That's exactly what the Configure Faceplate Type window allows us to do. Go to Edit and select Configure Faceplate Type. On the left, you'll see all the objects that make up the faceplate. At the moment, they're named Static Text 1, Static Text 2, and so on. These names don't tell us anything, so the first thing we should do is rename the objects we'll be working with. Select the header, open its static text properties, and change its object name to header. Next, rename each status indicator to something meaningful, such as north_status, south_status, east_status, and west_status. Giving your objects meaningful names makes configuring and maintaining larger projects much easier. Now open Configure Faceplate Type again. Select the header object. Notice that all of its available properties appear on the right. Ask yourself what needs to change when we reuse this faceplate. The first is the header text. Sometimes it should display green light, sometimes yellow light, and sometimes red light. So drag the text property into the Selected Properties panel. Next, we also need to change the header color, so drag the background color property into the Selected Properties panel as well. Rename these properties to something easy to recognize, such as text_header and backcolor_header. Now repeat the same process for each status indicator. Each indicator needs two customizable properties. The first is the displayed text, which changes between on and off. The second is the background color, which changes between green and red depending on the status. Drag both the text and back color properties into the Selected Properties panel, then rename them to meaningful names. Repeat this for the north, south, east, and west indicators. When you're finished, click Apply, then OK, and save the faceplate. Before we continue, if you're enjoying the series and finding it helpful, consider subscribing so you don't miss the upcoming lessons. Now let's use our faceplate. Return to the Details page. Open the Smart Objects panel and drag a faceplate instance onto the screen. When prompted, select the TL faceplate we just created and click Open. Resize it to fit your page. If you open the faceplate's properties and navigate to the User-Defined tab, you'll see all the properties we exposed earlier. These are the properties that make each faceplate instance unique. You can now change the header text, the header color, and the on-off status indicators without changing the original faceplate design. Once you're happy with the first one, simply copy and paste it twice to create the yellow and red sections. Change the user-defined properties so each faceplate matches the appropriate traffic light color. In a later video, we'll connect these properties to our PLC tags so the faceplates update automatically during runtime. For now, we're only creating the layout and learning how reusable faceplates work. That brings us to the end of this lesson. In the next video, we'll create our Trends page and learn how to display live data using WinCC trend controls. The next video is already on your screen. I'll see you there.